Aaron Lee Tasjan is an alt-country musician who spends much of his time exploring the messy, contradictory edges of American identity. In July 2026, he performed a solo acoustic set inside the historic 1859 St. Joseph's Church in Galveston, Texas. Toward the end of the night, he began a track from his 2024 album called I Love America Better Than You, a song that forces a direct collision between traditional patriotic imagery and polarizing modern realities. The lyrics start with a foundational nod to the country's history as a land of immigrants. He immediately places that alongside a reference to the country's first Black president, before pivoting sharply to include insurrectionists as a part of the same national fabric. He finishes the sequence by grouping queer trans feminists with the reality of widening wealth disparity. For some in the crowd, that rapid-fire cognitive dissonance was too much to sit through. 8 attendees stood up from the pews and walked straight out of the church. Tasjan bypassed the typical cycle of digital outrage or PR-scrubbed apologies. He utilized the incident to issue a warning about a society-wide refusal to be uncomfortable. Tasjan's response outlined a specific philosophy. An artist's responsibility extends into affecting the listener's worldview, rather than simply securing ticket sales and applause. He describes this as the medicinal properties of music. While songs can offer healing and comfort, their most vital function involves telling a truth that resists being ignored. Wrestling with reality creates friction. As Tasjan notes, the complicated nature of truth often leaves the listener bewildered, exhausted, or even angry. He clarified that the song serves as an illumination of existing conditions, stating plainly what is without pointing fingers or assigning specific blame. Tasjan's ultimate request of his audience was for them to actively sit with their own discomfort, rather than fleeing the moment they felt challenged. This is difficult given the technological ease with which we curate our lives. We retreat into ideological bubbles, filtering our environments until conflicting viewpoints are pushed away. Expanding our thinking breaks those loops, forcing us to determine our roles in systemic problems. As Tasjan wrote, nobody can afford the privilege of pretending they are immune to the harm caused to the most vulnerable members of society. Choosing to walk away from uncomfortable art represents a refusal to do the hard work of civic and personal growth. Tasjan championed the audience's free will to leave, identifying those 8 empty seats as a microcosm of a broader public that prioritizes comfort over engagement. He paired that acknowledgement with a stark warning: the time to remain comfortable is gone. He identified a timeline for a society in decline. Walking away from discomfort leads directly to embittered stagnation. When common ground is abandoned, shared mechanisms fail. This stagnation eventually results in a descent into fracture, splitting society into isolated pathways. Loving a country or a community requires confronting its failures. When faced with a difficult truth, the most productive act is to stay in your seat.